Hi all, this is Santosh Kumar Nair. Hope you are all safe and doing well. Today we are going to see how to configure a Palo Alto on EVE-NG. There are a lot of documentation already available on internet, including the official EVE-NG documentation. Hope this video is also helpful for you in configuring Palo Alto images on EVE-NG labs. All the learning labs, or to say all our network implementation projects, are divided to major milestone or main stages, steps. Similarly, we can say that there are 5 steps to configure Palo Alto image on EVE-NG. The first step is to download the Palo Alto OVA file from Palo Alto support website. Second step is to upload the Palo Alto OVA file to EVE-NG using some of the SCP client, like we have SolarWind SCP client, or we can use WinSCP. Extract the OVA file and produce a VMDK. The third step will be to convert the VMDK to EVE-NG QCOW2 image format and move to the correct QEMU folder on the EVE server. Then we need to fix the permissions. Once we have fixed the permission, configure the basic lab that you want to configure using Palo Alto Firewall. And the fifth and the final step is to start all the devices, check all the devices are coming up, and start doing your lab. Okay, so let's get started. So first we will go to the Palo Alto support portal. We'll log in with our, if you have the credentials, you can log in with your credentials. And then you can go to the update section. In the update section, you have software downloads. You can click on software downloads. And then select Pan OS VM series base images. Here you can download whichever image you want to do the lab for. So we will select 10.0.1, 10. Pan OS 10.0.1 is the new image. So we can download that. Just click on it and save. So now we have downloaded the OVA file. We have to upload this OVA file to the EVE-NG now. For that, we will be using WinSCP client. Open WinSCP. So that we just go to EVE-NG or the PNETLAB. Both are almost same. PNETLAB is the new simulation based on EVE-NG, but in backend both are same. So now we have an IP address for the EVE-NG. We'll open the WinSCP. 168.45. Create a new folder. Copy the new OBF file to the image. It is taking some time to upload the image. Okay, now the image has been uploaded. Okay, so we have that image on the event. What we can do is we can extract that PaloAlto image. So we'll get three files. Out of that, the main file that we require is the VMDK file. Okay, now we have the VMDK file. So we will go to the step 3. We'll convert the VMDK to the EVNG QCOW to image format. For that, we have to use the command convert. We have to be very careful that the name should be virtual QCOW2. Once we have this QCOW2 image format, we can move it to the QMO directory on the EVNG. After that, this image will be available on the front end. It's taking some time. Okay, now we have the image format ready. First of all, we can create a folder. Here we can create a folder which this is the same form name that will be appearing on the front end. So we can give it a name that is understandable. Auto 10.2.1. Okay. Next, we can move the virtue.qcow format file to the newly created folder. Okay. Okay. So now we have moved the file to the appropriate folder. Let's go to that directory and check if the file has been moved correctly. Here I have done this with different versions of PaloAlto and ASA firewall, Fortinet firewall as well. Let's go to PaloAlto. So we have the image file ready. Now the last step in this one is to fix the permission. For that, we have to issue a command /opt after a fix permission. As I had mentioned, in PNETLAB and EvenG, both have the same backend. The OS almost is the same. But on the front end, we have additional permission to fix permission from the front end itself in PNETLAB. And also we have some preloaded labs also available on PNETLabs. But this is the same step that we follow on EvenG as well. Now, the third step is fully completed. We have achieved the third milestone of converting the VMDK file to QCOW2 image format and moved the same to the QMO directory to a folder which will be shown on the front end, and we have fixed the permission. Now to the fourth step, that is to configure a basic lab. For that, we have to open the lab on the front end. Let's start. Take 190. Now once you have logged in, you will create a new lab. We can name it as okay. Here we can start with adding an object. Let's select it as PaloAlto. Here I have already 8.0.1, 9.0.4, 9.0.9. I will be selecting 10.0.1, which we have newly configured. If you want, you can increase the RAM. Next, we will require um, the management interface to be connected to a PC. So we'll add again a node. Next, we will have two interface firewalls. For that, we will add two VPCs just to check the basic connectivity. Connection. So we connected to management interface firewall. Okay. So now our lab is ready. We have to boot the devices. We can do a lot of other formatting if required. There are a lot of options available. That is out of scope of this particular video. This video will not cover the configuration of the zones or the interfaces, the two interfaces. We will just be checking the basic connectivity from the management. We will access the management book uh, and we'll finish the lab. So let's go to the step 5. Start all. You will notice that the color of the icons have changed. 160. Let's see if the issue is resolved with Docker. The IP address on the Docker should be .2. Let's configure it. PTH1 192.168.1.2/24. Admin password is admin. Next we have to add the default route. Route add default gateway 192.168.1.1. Okay, now let's ping the IP address 192.168.1.2. Okay, now let's check 1.1. It will not be reachable because we have not given the management IP addresses. So those who have worked on PaloAlto will then we have to give a static IP address on the PaloAlto, the management IP address, so that we can access it remotely. So let's do that step. It will take at least 15 to 20 minutes for the PaloAlto to boot up. After booting up, it should show as PA-VM login. Once we are there, we have to give admin. We have to change the password. Okay. Now, first point is we can check what is the current configuration. So system info. Okay. So the IP address is currently from the DHCP. So we will have to configure it as a static. So let's go to configure. Then we have to set device config system static. Next we go system IP address 192.168.1.245.255.255.0. We can give the gateway also, but in our case we do not require the gateway because the gateway for this subnet is the firewall itself, and this is basically just for the configuration of the firewall. So we will not give the gateway. If you want to give the gateway, we can add default gateway and give the gateway IP address. We are not giving the gateway here. We do commit. Once the commit is completed, we will again check if the firewall has taken the IP address. So we can check on the Docker if the ping has started. See, now we are able to ping the management IP address of the firewall. So let's access the firewall from endpoint, that is HTTPS 192.168.1.1. We have the login prompt of PaloAlto latest firewall PANOS, that is 10.0.1. So this is just one method of configuring PaloAlto image on event. There are readily available images that are there on internet which we can just copy to the event. and it will start working. So we do not have to follow the step 1 and 2. We can directly go to step 3. Just upload that virtue.q cow2 image of the Palo Alto to the specified folder and fix the permissions. But when we do like that, we will have certain old images. If we want to, uh, if we want to load a updated image, say now, if you see in the Palo Alto website, we have 10.0.2 also available. So suppose you want to work on the latest pan OS, you want to work on lab. So at that time, you will have to configure it from the OVA file. You will have to convert it. First of all, you have to extract it, then you have to convert it to the virtue.qcow2 and create your own labs and work on it. Hope this video will be helpful for you. If there is any questions or queries related to this video, please feel free to ask. I will be very happy to reply to it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.